everyone, and welcome to the IO Edge, where industrial organizational psychology meets the fast paced world of modern HR. I'm your host, Dr. Jacqueline Minor. This podcast is dedicated to the HR professionals, managers, and IO psychologists looking to lead with insight, strategy, and confidence. Whether you're an HR professional looking to level up or an IO psych grad wondering where you fit in the business world, this podcast gives you tools and insights to lead with purpose. On today's podcast, we will discuss from IO psychology to HR pro, my journey and why it matters. I am the CEO and principal consultant of Minor Consulting Group, LLC, which was established in 2017. My HR career spans 20 plus years, working across diverse industries, including healthcare, manufacturing, and the oil, gas, and energy sectors. I earned my Bachelor's of Science in Psychology from the University of Houston and earned my Master's and PhD in Industrial and Organizational Psychology from Capella University. While working in HR over the years, I discovered that most organizational leaders were good at managing the operation, but lacked the ability to effectively manage people. This resulted in employees exhibiting high levels of stress and a decline in organizational commitment. Because of this, my dissertation focused on factors involved in job stress and organizational commitment. I was passionate about finding a solution to this problem. This was not only my contribution to the psychological community, but to every manager struggling to retain their employees. HR professionals must possess a blend of personal and business skills to excel and advance their careers in human resources. As HR professionals, we must ensure that the people strategy aligns with the business strategy. My PhD in Industrial and Organizational Psychology provides a strategic advantage, enabling me to enhance organizational success by improving employee performance, motivation, and overall well-being. Through my research on employee behaviors and attitudes, I have identified effective hiring practices, training programs, feedback mechanisms, and talent management systems that foster improvement. I am equipped to assist decision makers in addressing process and procedural gaps and to propose implementation strategies that drive positive change. Industrial and organizational psychology is the application of scientific principles of human behavior and mental processes to the workplace. IO psychologists collaborate with organizations to develop and implement evidence-based strategies for talent acquisition, organizations to develop and implement perform evaluations, training, development, and organizational change. By systematically examining how work environments, policies, and job roles impact employee motivation, satisfaction, and productivity, this field contributes to creating healthier and more effective workplaces. According to Landy and Conti, the origins of IO psychology can be traced back to the early 20th century with pioneers like Hugo Mesberg and Walter Diel Scott, who applied psychological principles to solve practical problems in business and industry. Over the years, the field has evolved to encompass a wide range of topics, including employee selection, leadership, work-life balance, and organizational culture. One of the key areas of focus in IO psychology is employee selection. IO psychologists design and validate selection systems to ensure that organizations hire the best candidates for the job. This involves developing job analyses, creating assessment tools, and conducting validation studies to ensure that the selection methods are both valid and reliable, as described by Schmitt and Chan. Another important aspect of IO psychology is performance evaluation. IO psychologists work with organizations to develop performance appraisal systems that provide accurate and meaningful feedback to employees. Murphy and Cleveland believe this helped organizations identify areas for improvement and make informed decisions about promotions, training, and development. Training and development is also a critical area in IO psychology. So IO psychologists design and implement training programs that enhance employee skills and knowledge. This includes conducting needs assessments, developing training materials, and evaluating the effectiveness of training programs per Goldstein and Ford. Organizational change is another area where IO psychologists play a vital role. They help organizations navigate through changes by developing strategies to manage resistance, improve communication, and foster a positive organizational culture. Cummins and Worley acknowledge that these strategies involved conducting organizational assessments, designing interventions, and evaluating the impact of change initiatives. IO psychology is a dynamic and multifaceted field that applies scientific principles to improve workplace outcomes. By focusing on areas such as employee selection, performance evaluation, training and development, and organizational change, IO psychologists contribute to the creation of healthier and more effective workplaces. As we look at the role of IO psychology in HR, in the field, it applies psychological theories and principles to organizations. IO psychology focuses on understanding human behavior in the workplace and uses this knowledge to solve problems related to human resources. IO psychologists play a crucial role in various HR initiatives, including talent management, employee relations, and change management. Enhancing talent management is one of the primary areas where IO psychology makes a significant impact within talent management. IO psychologists use data-driven strategies to identify the best candidates for specific roles, ensuring a good fit between the employee and the organization. They conduct job analysis to determine the key competencies required for different positions and develop assessment tools to evaluate these competencies during the hiring process. We look at improving employee relations, this is an area that I currently work in extensively. IO psychology also contributes to improving employee relations by fostering a positive work environment. By understanding the factors that influence employee satisfaction and motivation, IO psychologists can design interventions that enhance job satisfaction and reduce turnover. They use surveys and other research methods to gather data on employee attitudes and behaviors, which helps HR professionals develop strategies to address any issues that may arise. As we look at facilitating change management. So change management is another critical area where IO psychology has significant impact. Organizations often undergo change, whether it's a restructuring, a merger, or the implementation of new technology. IO psychologists help manage these transitions by applying their knowledge of human behavior to ensure that changes are implemented smoothly and effectively. They work with HR professionals to develop communication plans, training programs, and other initiatives that support employees during times of change. So, looking at a case study involving the evolution of IO psychology. To illustrate the impact of IO psychology on HR initiatives, let's look at a historical perspective. So, the Hawthorne studies conducted in the 1920s and 1930s were among the first to demonstrate the importance of psychological factors in the workplace. So these studies showed that employee productivity increased when workers felt valued and involved in the decision-making process. This finding laid the groundwork for many of the HR practices we see today, such as employee engagement programs and participative management. Industrial and organizational psychology is a versatile field that equips practitioners with a unique skill set applicable to various roles with human resources. I myself work in employee relations currently and have held HR generalist roles, so I'm a hybrid. So IO psychologists bring a scientific approach or lens to understanding and improving workplace dynamics, making them valuable assets in multiple HR functions. One of the primary areas or roles IO practitioners can hold in HR is that of a talent acquisition specialist. In this role, they apply their knowledge of psychological principles to develop and implement effective recruitment strategies. They conduct job analysis to identify the key competencies required for different positions and design assessment tools to evaluate these competencies during the hiring process. By using data driven methods, IO psychologists ensure that organizations hire the best candidates for the job, leading to improved employee performance and retention. IO psychologists are also well suited for roles in training and development. So, as training and development managers, they design and implement programs that enhance employee skills and knowledge. This includes conducting needs assessments, developing training materials, and evaluating the effectiveness of training programs. By applying their expertise in learning and development, IO psychologists help organizations build a skilled and competent workforce. Another critical area for IO practitioners in HR is that of a performance management consultant. In this capacity, they work with organizations to develop performance appraisal systems that provide accurate and meaningful feedback to employees. This helps organizations identify areas for improvement and make informed decisions about promotions, training, and development. IO psychologists use their knowledge of performance evaluation to create systems that are fair, reliable, and valid. IO psychologists can also serve as organizational development specialists, where they focus on improving organizational effectiveness and employee well-being. They conduct organizational assessments to identify areas of improvement and design interventions to address these issues. This may involve developing strategies to manage resistance to change, improving communication, and fostering a positive organizational culture. By applying their expertise in organizational development, IO psychologists help organizations navigate through changes and achieve their goals. In the role of employee relations managers or consultants, in my case, IO psychologists use their understanding of human behavior to foster a positive work environment. They design interventions to enhance job satisfaction and reduce turnover by addressing the factors that influence employee attitudes and behaviors. This may involve conducting surveys to gather data on employee perceptions and developing strategies to address any issues that arise. By improving employee relations, IO psychologists contribute to a more engaged and committed workforce per Landy and Conti. So finally, IO psychologists can hold the role of HR analytics specialists, where they apply their expertise in data analysis to inform HR decisions. So I myself would be considered a data scientist because I have the ability to analyze and quantify data that's provided to us. So they collect and analyze data on various HR metrics, such as employee performance, turnover ratios, and training effectiveness. So by using statistical methods to identify trends and patterns, IO psychologists provide valuable insights that help organizations make evidence-based decisions. So this role highlights the importance of data-driven approaches in modern HR practices. So as you can see, IO psychologists are well equipped to hold various roles within HR. By applying their knowledge of psychological principles and data-driven methods, IO practitioners contribute to the success and effectiveness of HR functions. So as we look at commonalities between HR and IO psychology, so human resources and industrial organizational psychology share several common goals and practices, making them complementary fields that work together to enhance organizational effectiveness and employee well-being. So both HR and IO psychology aim to optimize the work environment, improve employee performance, and foster a positive organizational culture. One of the primary commonalities between HR and IO psychology is their focus on employee selection and recruitment. Both fields emphasize the importance of hiring the right candidates for the job to ensure a good fit between the employee and the organization. So HR professionals and IO psychologists collaborate to develop the job analysis, create assessment tools, and implement selection systems that are both reliable and valid. So this collaboration helps organizations identify and attract top talent leading to improved employee performance and retention, as stated by Schmitt and Chan. Another shared goal between HR and IO psychology is the development and implementation of training programs. So both fields recognize the importance of continuous learning and development to enhance employee skills and knowledge. So by providing employees with opportunities for growth and development, organizations can build a skilled and competent workforce. Performance management is also another area where HR and IO psychology intersect. Both fields aim to develop performance appraisal systems that provide accurate and meaningful feedback to employees. Organizational development is a critical aspect of both HR and IO psychology. So both fields focus on improving organizational effectiveness and employee well-being. HR professionals and IO psychologists work together to navigate through change and achieve their organizational goals. Employee relations is another area where HR and IO psychology share common practices. So both fields aim to foster a positive work environment by understanding the factors that influence employee satisfaction and motivation. By improving employee relations in organizations, they can create a more engaged and committed workforce. Finally, HR and IO psychology both emphasize the importance of data-driven approaches to inform decision makers. By using statistical methods to identify trends and patterns, both fields provide valuable insights that help organizations make evidence-based decisions. By working together, HR professionals and IO psychologists can enhance organizational effectiveness and employee well-being, creating healthier and more productive workplaces. The future of HR is poised to be significantly influenced by the principles and practices of industrial and organizational psychology. So by leveraging evidence-based practices, IO psychologists can help shape HR strategies that are both effective and sustainable. In today's episode, we explored the journey from IO psychology to HR leadership, highlighting the importance of understanding human behavior in the workplace. We discussed how IO psychology strengthens HR practices such as hiring, leadership, and employee engagement. By applying evidence-based practices, HR professionals can create healthier and more productive workplaces. IO psychology plays a vital role in shaping HR initiatives. Exploring how to adopt an IO perspective can revolutionize HR practices by leveraging evidence-based methodologies. This episode delves into the transformative potential of integrative scientific research into HR strategies, highlighting the benefits of data-driven decision-making and innovative approaches to workforce management. By embracing these practices, organizations can enhance employee satisfaction, optimize performance, and drive sustainable growth. This discussion underscores the importance of continuous improvement and adaptability in the ever-evolving landscape of human resources. By applying psychological principles to the workplace, IO psychologists help organizations improve their talent management, employee relations, and change management processes. As the field continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative applications of IO psychology in HR. This episode of the IO Edge was brought to you by Minor Consulting Group, helping organizations lead, hire, and grow through HR strategy and behavioral insight. Learn more at minorconsultinggroup.com. On our next episode, we will explore beyond inclusion, strategic support for neurodivergent employees with our special guests, Jody Mitchell and Dr. Derek Wesley. Be sure to subscribe to stay connected to the conversation at the intersection of psychology, business, and human resources. I'm Dr. Jacqueline Minor. I'll see you soon.